Alright guys, 2, maybe 3 videos today, depending on if I fall asleep while waiting for the third one. But yeah, let's talk about the New York Times. In fact, I actually saw this go up literally as I finished making my videos yesterday. I was actually thinking about doing a third video and talking about it, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because, oh boy, is it interesting. So basically, the New York Times has been forced to come out and talk about Tara Reid. Oh wow, I actually got a name wrong. I actually spelled a name wrong in that meme. Anyway, I didn't realise that, but anyway. So she's a former Senate aide who last year accused Joe Biden of inappropriate touching and has made allegations of sexual assault against the former vice president. As I said in the meme yesterday, Donald Trump talked about grabbing women by the you-know-what. Joe Biden reportedly did it. Interesting how they only worry about one person. But anyway, I just realised I actually spelled her name wrong. I should fix that. But anyway, should redo the meme. But soon after the allegations were made, obviously in a podcast interview released on March 25th, the New York Times began reporting on her account and seeking corroboration through interviews, documents, and sources. So the New York Times has gone on a bit of a tweet storm, to say the least. Right here, they've gone on and they've made, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or 8 posts. And it's interesting. It's really, really interesting, right? So they went on and they said that, talking about it on March. Now, that in itself is incorrect, but regardless. A friend said that Tara Reid told the details of her allegations at the time, and another friend of a brother of Reid's said that they told them over the years, but a traumatic sexual incident involving Biden. Now, the thing is, they like to think that it's only been since March 25th. Tara Reid has been trying to get the word out about these allegations for years, okay? This is not something that's gone through and has just popped up because Joe Biden is now running for vice president, or for president, sorry. This is something that has been in the background for years. She has been reporting it and trying to get the word out for years. So that in itself is incorrect, but anyway. No other allegations of sexual assault surfaced in the course of the reporting, nor did we find former Biden staff corroborating Reid's allegation. Why would you find any former Biden staff to corroborate her allegations? It's sort of like going, hey, someone might have sexually assaulted me, but hey, I'm going to go and ask the person that supposedly did it. I'm going to ask their staff whether they think they might have done it. What? Anyway. We found no pattern of sexual misconduct by Biden beyond hugs, kisses, and touching. Touching that women previously said made them feel uncomfortable. Let me just reiterate that. We found no pattern of sexual misconduct by Biden beyond hugs, kisses, and touching women that said that made them feel uncomfortable. So he has been sexually assaulting people, has he? But, regardless. On Thursday, Tara Reid filed a report with the Washington, D.C. police saying that she was the victim of a sexual assault in 1993. The public incident report does not mention Biden by name, but says the complaint was about him. Read our full report, including Tara Reid told the Times in an interview with Lightenbach. Right. So that's what they went on, and and someone said, yeah, we found no pattern of sexual misconduct by Biden other than all the hugs, kisses, and inappropriate touching that make women feel uncomfortable. Amazing. And they kind of copped a bit of flack regarding this, right? So, look, at the end of the day, I'm generally against, as I've said before, I'm against these cases where I was sexually assaulted 20, 30, whatever years ago, blah, 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 right? I'm not a big fan of them, right? But that said, this is the rule the left made up, right? The left made up this rule when it came to talking about Brett Kavanaugh, when it talks about Donald Trump. Right, we are going to use the rules the left has made to hold them accountable to their own rules. That's why I'm talking about this. Personally, look, whether it happened or not, I don't know, right? But the left want to go on about Trump making a crack about grabbing a woman by the you-know-what. Supposedly Biden actually did it. Reportedly, that's what they're saying. He actually stuck his hand up her dress, up her skirt, and grabbed her by the you-know-what. I just want people to know exactly what he is accused of here. He's not accused of fondling her breasts or rubbing her shoulder or anything like that. He's accused of sticking his fingers inside her. Orange Man bad for making a joke about it, but Biden completely fine when he reportedly does it. Joke about it? Bad, bad. Orange Man, bad. Actually doing it? La 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 la. I don't hear anything. So it's just like, it's the hypocrisy of the left once again. But regardless, but here's, and it's not like the New York Times who's just stuck up for Biden. It's not like they've not got a history of crucifying people for allegations, like, for example, the allegations that came out against Brett Kavanaugh, which I've also railed against for being 20-something-year-old allegations. They literally smeared Brett Kavanaugh. The New York Times did article after article after article, op-ed after op-ed after op-ed about whether Brett Kavanaugh should lose his job as a Supreme Court justice just on allegations alone. Never mind the fact that Brett Kavanaugh was running for president, just him doing the Supreme Court thing was enough. That these allegations were enough for him, for the New York Times to ask, should he lose his job and his seat? Biden, on the other hand, la 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 la, not listening. But when it comes to Kavanaugh, they're literally building the crucifix to pin him to it. It's weird how it only seems to go one way with the New York Times, doesn't it? But let's jump into this. So, in reporting claims of Ford and Biden, blah 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 blah. Let's see what they had to say about Kavanaugh. In contrast, the Times went to great lengths to lend credibility to sensationally uncorroborated new claims of misconduct against Kavanaugh, who, unlike Biden, never had a history of touching women in the workplace. In the fall of 2018, the Times joined the rest of the mainstream media in hyping allegations against Kavanaugh suddenly brought forward after decades by Dr. Christina Besley Ford, who had been acquainted with him in high school. The Times editorial declared that Kavanaugh, whose vigorous protest his innocence wasn't believable, while Ford was. The Times reported that Kavanaugh had been in a bar fight in college, though he had never arrested, and lent credence to uncorroborated claims of drunken behaviour. The reporter was an outspoken opponent of Kavanaugh's nomination. In September of 2019, the Times reported that the new allegations against Kavanaugh's victim existed into one of those that Kavanaugh's friends had pushed his, you-know-what, at a drunken party at Yale. Yeah, and I think they even... I'm pretty sure it was even the New York Times, like I said, who actually said that should Brett Kavanaugh, should he lose his job? Should he not be considered the Supreme Court Justice because of these allegations? These allegations were enough for them to write an op-ed to ask whether he should have lost his seat. Mind you, Joe Biden, no, we're not going to talk about that. Now, obviously, the New York Times... before we get onto that, let's talk about the memes. There is one I am going to highlight that was absolutely beautiful. So here it is here. This to me is the pinnacle of internet memes.
You know what? You know what? We are gonna finish this together. Come on. Come on, let's go. Let's go. We did it, Andy. We did it, old friend.
To me, I really wish I had have done this. I really did. I wish I had came up with this, but alas, it was not me. But yeah, New York Times has now subsequently removes qualifying language from Biden assault allegation story. The New York Times edited its initial story about the recent sexual assault allegations against Joe Biden, removing qualifying language used to determine there was no pattern of sexual misconduct on the former vice president's part. On Sunday, the Times published an in-depth account of the new accusations leveled by Tara Reid. I can't believe I got her name wrong. I really can't. I'm going to have to fix that. Who briefly served in Biden's Senate office in early 1990s. Reid had first come forward in April 2019 to accuse the former vice president of unwanted touching. I think it was actually even earlier than that, I thought, but anyway. In recent weeks, however, she has revealed that there is an allegation more to the story. Reid now claims in particular that Biden pushed her against the wall and forcibly penetrated her with his fingers. While she was employed by his office sometime in 1993, the former vice president campaigned has denied the supposed incident ever took place. The Times had held off reporting on the matter until Sunday, delved into the accusations, but was unable to establish a firm conclusion apart from there being different recollections. I'm getting that wrong. I know. It's late, but anyway. But Reid's tenure in Biden's Senate office. An article is initially published. Note that Reid's accusations was one of several, but claimed there were no pattern of sexual misconduct on the former vice president. Now, so what'd they change? The Times characteristics there by the no pattern of misconduct, apart from unwanted hugs and kisses, which we've already talked about. Some describe the qualifying language by the outlet as utterly unbelievable, especially given the manner in which the Times had previously covered similar allegations against President Donald Trump and Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. So shortly after the Times began drawing criticisms for its language, the outlet edited the story, removed mentions of unwanted hugs and kisses when determined that there was no pattern of misconduct. No other allegations about sexual assault surfaced in the course of the reporting, nor did any other former staff Biden members corroborate the detail of Ms. Reid's allegation. The Times found no pattern of sexual misconduct by Biden. The article now reads without acknowledgement to the update. So, yeah, so like I say, this is the original one here. Beyond hugs and kisses, this has all been removed. And obviously, the New York Times removes qualified language, which is what we just read. Have I got it up? Yeah, I've got it up to us. Yep, sorry, my bad. And obviously here, the New York Times stealth edits Biden's sexual assault history, removes history of unwanted touching. So it's just basically going through and saying the same sort of thing. Now, the interesting thing is, obviously, when you get to like, for example, the reports, that what people have actually said and the responses that they've gotten. This is why they've removed it. They had such a backlash against them for this. Yeah, you can tell like 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 tweets there, right? Yeah, we've deleted a tweet that has some imprecise language. Will Chamberlain, you mean this tweet? And then he's posted it. And then people have also screenshot and posted it as well. Walter Durinry's spirit lives on in the New York Times. That's what the tweet was by the New York Times. Said that we found no pattern. No pattern, no pattern, no pattern, no pattern, no pattern. No pattern, no pattern, no pattern, no pattern, no pattern. We accidentally gave the game away by saying all of Biden's well-documented sexual harassment didn't count, which is pretty much true. Don't worry, we remember you're honest. You're sorry. We remember you accidentally honest. Change the wrong part of the sentence. Yeah, so that they've copped it. They really have. And for due reasons, of course. Look, at the end of the day, obviously, as for the allegations themselves, look, do I believe them? I don't know. Like I say, I'm generally against allegations that have surfaced after 10, 20, 30 years. I was against them with Brett Kavanaugh, and I'm against them with, for example, with Tara Reid. Can I imagine Biden doing it? Yeah, I probably could, yeah. But that said, you know, yeah. But look, at the end of the day, my major interest in this was how the left carry on. The hypocrisy between people, and that's what it really irks me, is the hypocrisy, right? Is that people sitting there saying, you know, that one political side is bad for doing something, and then literally claiming that the other side is no real big deal. And that's the thing that bugged me the most about this when I first read it, and this is why I was going to do a story on it last night, is this whole no other allegations apart from, and then they start listing all the allegations. You know, we found no pattern of sexual misconduct except for all the sexual misconduct. Is basically what they've said here. So, yeah, it's like, well, you found no pattern, but you're listing a pattern. You do realise that, right? It's like, you know, yeah. But anyway. Because let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I just... Mainstream media really is a garbage pile right now. I was saying to someone the other day, 3 times last week, I think it was, we caught them lying. 3 times in a week. This week, I think we've already caught them once or twice again already. Like, it is just constant. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And as for the New York Times, you know, if Trump had done any of this stuff, if any of this stuff was Trump, they would be writing op-eds and articles. It would be on the front page. It would replace the beer bug. It would be that big a news. We would be talking about this instead of constantly hearing about beer bug if it was Trump. But Biden, they just ignored it until they couldn't ignore it anymore. They put out an article on Sunday trying to stick him up, trying to stick up for it. And like I say, this video here, this to me literally represents the New York Times and Joe Biden perfectly. This video is just,
you know what?
Absolutely beautiful.
This.
It really is beautiful.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. We did it, Andy. We did it, old friend.
It really does sum it up. It really does. I'm going to have to use that as the thumbnail. I really am. But yeah, it is. Whoever did this Beatrice of Est. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But guys, apart from that, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section. I find this absolutely appalling. The New York Times would literally stick up for Biden regarding this situation. But, oh boy, when it comes to Trump, Kavanaugh, or anybody else, they will literally light the candle fires. And it's not just a Republican sort of thing too. They've also gone after other people, like I think it was Al Sharpton and stuff like that. But it's anybody that's anti-establishment. If you're anti-establishment, they go after you. And of course they will. They're the media industrial complex. You know, there's two MICs. There's the military and there's the media. Because let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.